Sometimes it's very good to consider the things that you say before you say them. I also understand that there are people who are just stumbling upon the channel, and so sometimes they may not necessarily know, the context of a lot of the videos that I make. In fact, today I made a video where I said Xbox is copying Nintendo. In that video, I talked about very pertinent, moves that Xbox has taken that, in my opinion, has put them in a position where they're breaking the mold and pretty much doing what Nintendo did for the Nintendo Switch to be successful. They built a hybrid console, one that allowed for you to basically play on the go with your friends and also allowed for you to still be able to coalesce that with the, living room console, and in a sense. Now, I've seen some people say, well, Xbox is not really copying that because, Xbox has some other, aspects to it. I know, but there is the spirit of that theme of breaking the mold. In fact, some others have said, well, Nintendo Switch was also, developed for the Japanese lifestyle. But I don't remember that because I've never lived in Japan before. Remember when I saw the first set of Nintendo ads, they were, in a sense, directed to the American young person lifestyle. I don't know if y'all remember, there was a Nintendo Switch ad where they showed people playing on the basketball court, people having coffee, and then pulling out their Nintendo Switch and playing with a friend. They took the Joy-Cons out. That community side was also a very huge aspect in the Nintendo Switch marketing. To that, I got a comment. I thought this was unhinged because this one not only went to try to refute what I said, but they entered the ad hominem realm. When somebody insults you, they really are bereft of actually any argument worth noting. That's the first thing you got to do. You got to first take it as that. Another thing too is, maybe they don't know. You might want to give them a benefit of the doubt. So I hid their username, but they said Xbox is doing what Nintendo is doing, breaking the mold, using other platforms, especially the newly developed mobile platforms like the Steam Deck, the Rogue Ally, the MSI Claw, and laptops and so and such to be able to have you access their games. It's actually a much more liberal approach to what Nintendo had actually done. And so they said this, Nintendo is not putting any, in all caps, of their games on other platforms, so you're dead wrong. Just because you can play Xbox games on a laptop or whatever else does not make it the same as a Switch. I never said that. This is somebody who listened to a video and in their minds, it basically interpreted it to something else that they wanted to hear. Then they went in there. They said, it baffles me that somebody would do these kinds of mental gymnastics to damage control Xbox's dumb third-party push. This is a PlayStation fanboy, or this might be an Xbox traditionalist. Because what they said is bereft of any level of looking around for just a second to see that Nintendo has a page. If you go on Google, you can Google Nintendo's games on mobile. They have a page on the Nintendo website where they actually list their mobile games. There are like 3 of them. Actually, there's 5 of them. Okay. And they have them on the mobile platform, which we would all agree that the mobile platform is actually a platform, isn't it? It's the biggest one. It beats all of them and is a very strategic platform for Nintendo, actually. Those who are thinking, oh, Nintendo is going to stay on their platform. No, this is their side hustle. This is their secondary plan B. If nobody buys the Switch 2 or Switch 3 or whatever the heck they make, they are diving deep into the mobile world. You better get that into your mind that they're not going to waste time. They've tested it out. They've seen how it goes. Oh, yeah, beautiful. iPhone and Android and everybody keep making these wonderful phones that will basically be our de facto Nintendo devices. And people will be able to play our Mario Kart games and our Mario games and our Zelda games to the tune of tens of millions of units, which will still make us a lot of money. Remember that they just also brought Animal Crossing as well, which they gave like a reduced fee. And yes, these are mobile versions, but again, did I hear somebody say any of their games on other platforms? Did I hear somebody say dead wrong? Now, granted, again, it seems like I'm dunking on them, but like I said, I want to give the benefit of the doubt and they don't have context, but I've made this video before. I got almost similar pushback, except the person saying that this is mental gymnastics. The third-party push that Xbox is making, PlayStation is even making the exact same third-party push. So for you to say it's a dumb third-party push, what do you mean by that? You act like we are not all sitting here looking at the entire gaming industry change to where everybody is making some kind of third-party push. Do you want to call it dumb? Because if you actually go here on Steam's page, It says, look at the URL. Let me go and bring this browser down for you so that you can look at the address and how Steam actually categorizes it. They categorize it under publisher. Steampowered.com/publisher, PlayStation Studios. When PlayStation does a sale, they write, this third-party publisher sale is being brought to you by PlayStation Studios. They are a third-party publisher. Their games are on PC. They have games on Xbox. Well, one game on Xbox. They have one game on the Nintendo Switch. You saying that it's a dumb third-party push is absolutely unveiling that you have no good faith argument for what it is that you just said. And this is why we must have this conversation. The industry is, everybody has got a backup plan, bro. Like every single person has got a backup plan. And it's so funny to watch, like, you know, those who are the traditionalists in this particular area kind of think that somewhere, somehow, that these folk are, you know, in a sense, exempt from the reality that they're all facing in regards to what their video games will look like and what their future will look like. You've got to have a backup plan. You've got to be able to strategize. PlayStation already had this at the back of their minds, seeing as to how fast their games came on the PC platform. They looked at Xbox and were like, Xbox is closing the gap. The gap that we're beating them in console sales, they're closing that gap in terms of software sales. They're not even losing as much money in terms of consoles because they don't have to sell that many. And basically, they've been able to checkmate us. Their games come out day one. Xbox has no pressure to keep their games on Xbox anymore. What they're doing is they're weathering that pressure to keep their games away from PlayStation. And for the Nintendo Switch, they have no pressure in that regard. They're going to launch their games as they need to, when they need to, how they need to, and make money. This is not mental gymnastics. This person, let me just give you guys the short and sweet. You need to stop gaming, bro. Like, you need to just, because you are in for a world of cry. Like, the Kleenexes that are going to be, because it just sounded like they were so upset that I actually said what is actually true in front of everybody's face. And it's just quite interesting just to see it. And again, this is not the first time I've seen this reaction. I've seen it before. And I think the egg on the face is very necessary for a lot of these folk. See, the next push, and you're going to see this, is more PlayStation games to Xbox. Watch it happen. They can dance around it how they want. They can find another third-party subsidiary publisher to get the games on Xbox in different ways, like they're already doing with Predator Hunting Grounds, with Kojima's, Death Stranding Part 1, and with MLB The Show. It won't matter at the end of the day. In fact, they're already doing it. They are actively cooking. Let me give you an example. Let me tell you what's going on right now. PlayStation has a studio that is actively cooking a game that they're going to launch on Xbox next year. And most likely they will launch it on Game Pass next year. That's the industry that you're in. All this denial, it's nonsense. Oh, are they going to bring tentpole games? Who gives a hoot about tentpole games? Xbox has got its own games. PlayStation, if y'all don't buy these PlayStation games and PC players continue to look at the PlayStation Network and go, we're not touching that, they're going to have to take it somewhere. And the obvious is there, sitting right in front of everybody. We'll just wait and see it happen. No problem. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Appreciate you all so much. Talk to me in the comment section. Hopefully we can talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.